A dangerous summer at Crystal Lake. It was a warm July afternoon when 8 friends arrived at Crystal Lake, a remote and peaceful spot surrounded by tall pine trees and rolling hills. They had decided to spend 2 weeks camping, enjoying the summer, and escaping their busy lives. Jack, 25, was the planner of the trip. He had short blonde hair and a passion for hiking. He was the natural leader of the group, always taking charge. His girlfriend, Sophia, 24, was bubbly and adventurous, with curly brown hair and a contagious laugh that brightened everyone's mood. Alex, 23, was Jack's childhood friend. He was quiet but dependable, with dark hair and glasses that gave him a thoughtful appearance. Liam, 25, was the jokester of the group, always ready with a loud laugh and a funny story. He loved fishing and had brought his fishing gear, hoping to catch something big. His younger sister, Emily, 22, was shy but kind-hearted. Her long black hair and gentle nature made her the calming presence in the group. Oliver, 24, was the musician, carrying his guitar everywhere. His mischievous grin often hinted at the pranks he loved to play. Maya, 23, was the athlete. Competitive and energetic, she spent most of her time swimming in the lake or challenging the others to games. Finally, there was Tyler, 26, the wild card of the group. Charismatic but reckless, he had tattoos covering his arms and a knack for getting into trouble. The group set up their tents near the shore of the lake. They brought everything they needed: fishing gear, coolers full of drinks, and enough food to last them weeks. But Tyler had secretly brought something else, a stash of cocaine he had stolen from a local drug dealer. He hadn't told anyone, but over the week, the group had been using it, thinking it was just part of the fun. A week of fun turns to horror. For 7 days, the group partied late into the night, swimming, laughing, and playing music around the campfire. On the morning of the 8th day, everyone was sprawled in their tents, hung over and exhausted. The sun had just risen when a black van pulled up near their campsite. 3 men stepped out. They were large, intimidating, and dressed in dark clothes. The leader, Victor, had a scar running across his cheek and piercing blue eyes. The second man, Damon, was muscular with a shaved head and a sinister smile. The third, Leo, was smaller but quick and wiry, with a knife always in his hand. The men stormed into the campsite, kicking over tents and shouting. The group woke up in confusion and fear. Victor pulled Tyler out of his tent and threw him to the ground. "You thought you could steal from us and get away with it?" Victor growled. "I don't know what you're talking about," Tyler stammered, but Victor wasn't convinced. Damon grabbed Oliver, who was closest, and slammed his hand onto the picnic table. "You better talk," Damon hissed, pulling out a knife. When Tyler remained silent, Damon sliced off the tip of Oliver's pinky finger. Oliver screamed in pain as the others watched in horror. Victor motioned to Leo, who grabbed Tyler and dragged him toward the van. "You have 1 week to bring us $1 million, Victor told the group. "If you don't, you'll never see him again." The men drove off, leaving the group in shock. Emily wrapped Oliver's hand in a towel, and they sat in silence, realizing the gravity of the situation. A call for help. Instead of trying to raise the money, Jack had another idea. He called his cousin, Ethan, 30, a former Navy SEAL who lived nearby. Ethan was tall, with a calm demeanor, and a history of dealing with dangerous situations. "We need your help," Jack said, explaining what had happened. "Stay where you are," Ethan replied. "I'll be there in an hour." When Ethan arrived, he brought weapons and a detailed plan. "We're not paying these guys," Ethan said. "We're getting Tyler back." The rescue mission. Using a tracking device Ethan placed in Jack's phone, they located the cabin where Tyler was being held. It was deep in the woods, far from any town. That night, Ethan led the group through the trees, moving silently and carefully. When they reached the cabin, Ethan handed Jack and Alex small radios. "Stay here and keep watch," he instructed. "I'll go in first. If anything happens, call the police." Ethan slipped into the cabin like a shadow. Inside, Tyler was tied to a chair, bruised and beaten. Victor and Damon were arguing over the phone with someone, their voices raised. Leo sat near the door, his knife in hand. Ethan acted quickly, knocking Leo out with a single blow. He untied Tyler and handed him a small knife. "Stay behind me," Ethan whispered. As they tried to leave, Damon spotted them and grabbed a gun. "Stop! Right there!" he shouted. Ethan lunged at him, disarming him with a swift move. Victor charged, but Jack and Alex, hearing the commotion, rushed in to help. Together, they overpowered the men, tying them up before calling the police. The aftermath. Tyler was rushed to the hospital, where doctors treated his injuries. The police arrested Victor, Damon, and Leo, charging them with kidnapping and assault. The group returned to their campsite, shaken but relieved. Weeks later, Tyler stood in court, facing charges for stealing the drugs. The judge sentenced him to 1 year in prison. As he was led away, he looked at his friends and said, "I'm sorry. I'll make it right when I get out." Jack, Sophia, and the others vowed never to let anything like this happen again. Despite the ordeal, they were grateful to have made it out alive, their bond stronger than ever. The lesson. The summer at Crystal Lake taught them that actions have consequences, and true friendship means standing by each other in the darkest times. Though their lives would never be the same, they knew they could face anything together. Thank you for listening to the entire story. I hope it captured your attention and emotions. If you enjoyed this tale and would like to explore more, feel free to check out my YouTube channel. If you have an idea for a story, share it in the comments. Inspire me. I'd love to bring your imagination to life. See you on the channel.